Friends near and far, dear to my heart. I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. Welcome to my very first live on YouTube. I've had to restart this a couple times. I'm still getting familiar with the app, so bear with me. The original plan was to answer live question and give you answers. But so far, all I'm seeing here on YouTube is that the comments kind of dissipate. So I'm going to do my best to get to your questions. But first, I want to dive into just the collective energy, right? What's going on astrologically? So as we all know, and if you've been watching my monthly readings for each zodiac sign, we've been talking a lot about eclipse season coming in October and how September is a major preparation month for this huge cycle, right? It expands over the next year even. And we have these cycles continuously, but they're always kind of shifting every year and a half into a new lunar node cycle, okay? Back in July, specifically, what was it? It was July 17th. We switched into this Aries Libra axis, right? Aries North Node, Libra South Node. So over the next year and a half now, these themes amongst these signs are going to be playing out for all of us. So the first shift occurred again July 17th. And it's going to be collectively picking up momentum over the next year and a half. And then it will wrap up around January 11th, 2025. So this is a long stretch of time, right? So this is not something that necessarily is sudden or erratic. But the thing about October is that this is the start, right? This is one of the first eclipses within this lunar node shift. So when you think about the north and south nodes, it's a lot about karma. It's a lot about destiny. It's a lot about breaking patterns, especially ancestral patterns, right? Because the south node has everything to do with past life. So any sort of past life, if you believe in this sort of thing, and I believe most of you do that watch my channel, we come kind of equipped with premeditative or, certain belief systems, right, that have been passed down from our ancestors, right? And that could be good or bad. And especially amongst our parents, right? They're the ones that raised us. And also other figures within our lives that are put here on our journey to help us evolve and grow, good or bad, right? And it's really about free will to kind of discern and to understand how you're moving through this karma, through this dharma, because we all have karma and it's playing out for all of us in some certain shape or form. And depending on your birth chart, that's a whole nother topic I can get into. These nodes can really be highlighted and heightened. So if you're interested in really diving into what your north and south nodes are, you can look into getting a private reading with me. I offer tarot readings, of course, and I also have birth chart readings. So if you're like, what the hell is my north node? What is my south node? This is something that I think would be very significant, especially since we're going into this Aries Libra new cycle, right? So what does this necessarily mean, right? So we kind of understand south node is kind of past life, has a lot to do with our childhood even, and usually around, I say, like 20s to 30s, even 40s, maybe stretching into that midlife is when we really start to understand what our north node energy is, right? We start pulling on those qualities. North node is like our shining light. It's that true north. It's guiding us into our soul's evolution, right? Because we are here to evolve, whether we know it or not, whether it's conscious or subconscious. We are all evolving, and we're all evolving at different speeds, right? Eclipse season is where this energy is a bit heightened. There's a heightened awareness. There's sudden revelations, epiphanies, and we've all been kind of feeling this tension and momentum building up with all this heavy, dense retrograde energy. And I don't mean heavy in a bad way. It's just a bit more, like I like to say, is like walking through molasses. Like the world just keeps moving, but it's like time stands still is the way that I'm hearing it. So with all of this kind of collective energy bubbling below the surface with 6 planets still retrograde amongst this eclipse season, I am predicting that it's going to be a pretty influential time. If not always, right? But I just feel like coming out of Venus retrograde, coming out of Mercury retrograde in September, I've been talking to all the signs, and you can check out your monthly reading about this. Like, this is preparation month. We are in preparation for what is being eclipsed in or out of our lives, or both, right? And again, October is pretty heightened, but then I feel like the evolution of whatever this change or shift might be for you specifically is going to be making waves and changes throughout the year, right? It's kind of like when you like throw a rock into the water and you see the ripples that come out, right? So it's kind of that energy of that rock being thrown in October and all of the ripples that ripple out afterwards. So as I always say, the power of free will is always at play with any of my readings or any of the major decisions that you're making. Just know that there is a ripple effect in October. So it's smart to think, with your intuition. Of course, use your rational mind, but really feel into your heart space during these major radical shifts that are occurring. Some big questions for you during eclipse season that I have is, what are you really overcoming? What is it that you feel that you really want to evolve out of or into? And how have your past experiences informed your present day realities, right? So sort of karmic cycles and patterns that you feel have been playing out in your life. How are those things affecting you, right? These are going to be some big core questions that you're going to be having to answer during October. And again, rippling out into the month, the ripple effect. Any sort of outdated beliefs that you might have, things will be shifting, right? Collectively and interpersonally, right, within your life. Thank you for joining, friends, to the live. I'm just going over some astrology eclipse energy. If you do have a question, please feel free to leave it in the comments, and I will be getting to as many questions as I can while I am live. So, Aries North Node. What does that mean? Aries is the baby of the zodiac. Aries is the first house, right? A lot about self. Aries North Node is really pushing us to focus on self, right? Be a free thinker, right? To break out of the norms. So I think of Aries energy as like the anarchist, the rebel, very self-protective, self-preserving. So we are really having to become free thinkers, especially given the world that we live in, right? We're being bombarded from so many different directions on how to think, how to feel, how to be. And this Aries energy is asking us to really start thinking for ourselves, right? Like, is that belief system mine, right? Really starting to get really firm and clear with who you are, what your mission is here, and what you're wanting to do while you're here for this short amount of time. So Ross, thank you for joining in. I will definitely get some general advice for you. So Aries North Node, right? We know what that means. Being a radical thinker, a free thinker. And we have the South Node, which is opposite of Aries, is Libra, which is all about balance, partnerships, harmony, peace, mutual understanding, right? Compromise when you think of Libra energy. But there's always a shadow side, right, to each sign. Just like Aries, right, can be almost too impulsive, right, almost pushy, or trying to make you believe whatever they believe, right? That can be a bit coercive and manipulative, that shadow side of Aries. The shadow side of Libra is that they enter into these codependent relationships, and they give so much because really the core wound is that they don't feel like they're enough, right? Or they feel like they need to be with someone else to fill that void. So I have this quote that I wrote down in my notes here. And this kind of sums it up with like the Libra South Node energy that we are moving out of, or at least trying to find balance amongst, right? So what it is I need you to like me. I will become whoever you want me to be, just so I can receive your love and feel peace between us, right? Not to rock the boat. I think of Enneagram 9. I've been studying the Enneagrams, and I really think of Libra as that. You can look into Enneagram and what your number is. It's pretty cool stuff. And what we're really shifting into is, again, Aries North Node. And this is the quote that I wrote for that. My identity and my path have nothing to do with your preferences. I am fine with you disliking me. The only true love I need is my own, right? And we can enter into these kinds of ideas with grace and ease, and we don't have to be pushy or demanding, right? We have to find balance amongst both of these energies, the Aries and the Libra, to find harmony, to find balance, but to also, again, be able to speak up. So these are the themes of self-love, really, is what it boils down to. Right? Because the more that we can love ourselves, the more that we can actually be with ourselves, that Aries energy, right? Really being independent and free thinkers, the more that we can enter into interdependent relationships where both partners can really truly thrive, right? Together in harmony, right? So bringing these two energies together. And if you have Aries or Libra in your chart, or it's heavily highlighted, then these themes will be even more potent for you over the next year. Okay, so that is Eclipse kind of wrapped up in a 10-minute nutshell. I'll be definitely talking more about this in my general reading, so stay tuned for that. Again, we are still in the thick of 6 planets that are retrograde. The one that I really feel that is still kind of influencing us is the Saturn retrograde. And you can check out my page. I did a brief little reading back in July for each sign to see how the Saturn retrograde is affecting you personally. It's not going to be going direct until November 4th. So slowly but surely, we're going to be moving out of these retrogrades. A lot of the retrogrades, though, the 6 that we're still in, we're not going to really be feeling these lighten up until December, even January. So December, January is going to be where a lot of this kind of like molasses energy is going to lighten up. And I feel like there'll be more direct energy where we can, again, start to be more independent, free thinkers, and really get more clear, right? Really get more clear on what our path is. Again, North Node really wants us to, you're going more comfortable. Yes. It's really fun to do these lives. I'm actually planning to do more of these lives. I'm not like super tech savvy, but I am learning. And I'm glad that I got this working, and thank you for joining me. But again, we're starting to, and we're being pushed to become free thinkers, right? We need free thinkers in this world. Okay, so I'm going to get down to questions, and it looks like, Ross, you're the only one that joined me this evening. I'm actually going to be doing some Instagram lives. I'm going to be just dabbling with what platform kind of works better, and kind of go from there. So it's almost like you get yourself a private reading. There you go. We're going to pull some cards for you, Ross. We're going to feel into what this eclipse season has for you. Just kind of some general advice it seems that you're needing at this time. So this is for Ross. Let's see what the cards have. I am using a brand new deck for this reading, so you're the first one to break in this deck. All right, let's see. Let's see what we have for Ross. What is it that Ross needs to know at this time? What is it that he needs to see for his highest and greatest good? Let's see. I tend to let the cards fall. Oh, there we go. I tend to let the cards do what they will. So we have here the Five of Wands on the bottom, okay? And it's in reverse. I really like to see this energy for you, Ross. You're letting go of like external, outdated, like I said, belief systems, what other people have kind of pressed on you as a child, and growing into the latter half of your years, I should say, right? Being here on this planet, of learning how to think for yourself. Like the Five of Wands, as you can see, is a very combative energy. It's a lot of external forces that are kind of playing into your reality. And it's almost like too many cooks in the kitchen, right? So you're learning how to kind of cipher out other people's beliefs, right? And also, again, outdated beliefs that you have been holding for yourself. And you're getting closer to this union. And the Two of Cups can represent someone else, right? The Two of Cups is definitely a soulmate energy, right? That's wanting to come in for you here. But the way that I'm seeing it with the Five of Wands in reverse is more like this is a harmony within yourself. Like really balancing out the shadow and the light, and understanding how you love and how you express yourself and how you are in relationships and out of relationships, right? That Aries Libra energy is really showcasing the difference, right? Because we really can act very differently depending on who we are surrounding ourselves with. So advice for you as well is, this is something my father always told me as a kid: you are the company you keep, right? And the Five of Wands does express that here for you. Like really be mindful of the people that you network with, the people that you surround yourself with, because there's a lot of people potentially in your life that are not for your highest good and are maybe not giving you the best advice. So it's going to be important for you over this eclipse season to really start thinking about those close friendships, interpersonal, intimate relationships with the Two of Cups here that are here for you and not against you, right? And learning how to, of course, take advice, but being able to discern, again, your own beliefs. Be a free thinker, right? Think about that Aries energy. So you also have here the Queen of Swords in reverse with the Five of Cups. So Five of Cups is grieving, right? Getting over some sort of loss, betrayal, right? But this is good to see it in reverse. You have two fives here. So 5 is a very significant number for you. You might have a close idea in your head about the number 5. Maybe it rings a bell, but you might also be seeing the number 5 a lot. 555. You can look up what that means. But 5 in tarot is change, right? Whether we like it or not. And this is what eclipse season is really all about, right? It's radical shifts and change over a 6-month cycle. But like I said in the beginning, I don't know if you were here for that portion. It's like October is when we cast the rock, right, into the water. And then the ripple effect occurs, right? So yes, the ripple effect that we are creating in October is going to be rippling out, right, throughout the whole year. So it's really important in October to really set some clear intentions and to be really honest with the people around you. And also, again, to be able to really let go of any unprocessed pain, hurt, resentment here with the Five of Cups. And I do see you doing that, right? They're both in reverse. So that does signify that you are putting in the effort and the work to do just that. So you can be in union, right? Within oneself, Two of Cups, and also, again, with a partner, right? You do have the Queen of Swords here in reverse. You might be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or this might be someone that you have been processing, you know, maybe some grief, some resentment. And this Queen of Swords in reverse, it's usually the Queen of Swords is very forthcoming, right? Honest, almost brutally honest at times. But it being in reverse, I sense a more quietness, someone that's retracting. You might actually be, you know, right now dealing with someone that could be an air sign, or just someone that is encompassing this energy, right? This air energy, this Queen of Swords energy, where they're kind of being more hesitant to talk. And maybe when they do talk, it might be a bit brash. Maybe there's a lot of anger. Again, I'm sensing like anger, bitterness, resentment, that is needing to be cleared up and released. We're actually going to pull an oracle for you. I want to clarify this this energy for you, Ross. Let's see. And again, thank you for joining me here. This was kind of last minute. And again, I set up like 4 lives. I didn't even know how I did that, but I did. I was able to erase them, luckily. All right, Ross, let's get an oracle message for you. Let's get an oracle message. I'm going to have to definitely play with this app, and I think I'm going to do a live again this coming week. But I'm going to do it from my laptop because then I can actually see all your comments a lot easier. All right, Ross, let's get an oracle for you. This is for Ross. What is it that he needs to know? What is it that he needs to see at this time for Ross? Success. You got humor. I'm going to take all 3 of these. So you have blame, you have success, and you have humor. So I'm going to just read what's on the card here quickly. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. So yeah, I see that here. With the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Cups in reverse, this is like taking a more lighthearted approach, right? Because things might have been a bit burdensome and heavy at some point, maybe in the recent past, right? Your timeline, I don't know your timeline, but it's looking like the universe is really asking you to take on a more lighter approach. You know, if you feel like you're getting stuck in some sort of mental space, to try to shift the energies, try to move the energies, because that's what's going to bring you in success, right? Using humor. And when you're looking at certain situations, and success is, I know that there's no greater goal than to love. Oh, yes. Okay. So a long-term relationship, it was ugly. Yeah. And it's looking like you're having to release blame around that dynamic, right? I accept responsibility for my well-being. And the way that I look at this card here is, again, not having to point the finger, taking a level of accountability in the situation, of course. But I think for you, it's about well-being. It's about making sure that you're in a place that's more lighthearted, around people that are more lighthearted. I'm sensing that there's been a lot of more dense energy within and around you, and you're being asked to find people that can enjoy life, right? Find the simple things in life, find humor, find pleasure. We actually are entering into October, and there's going to be a lot of Venusian energy with the Libra and Taurus moon cycles. They're both ruled by Venus. So October is going to definitely be a month to indulge, you know, of course, in a healthy way, but humor for sure. Finding people that you can just laugh with and enjoy life with, right? I'm going to pull, I'm feeling like I want to pull, since you're the only one that's asked a question so far, I'm going to pull another oracle card for you. Let's see here for Ross. What is it that he needs to know? What is it that he needs to see for Ross? Let's see. This is for Ross. Let's see. New life. Okay. So it's looking like, oh yeah, you're getting off this like repeating cycle, never ending story. You know, there's a level of like blame here. We saw the blame card, and you're done playing the blame game. And maybe that's, again, something that you have to work on, is like forgiving yourself, forgiving others, so you can enter into a new cycle. Because there is success here, right? There is success, and there is this potential Two of Cups, right? A new life, new ideas around love. Getting rid of some negative self-talk here with the Queen of Swords in reverse, because this is a lot of mental space, a lot of mental energy. So really, the way you talk to yourself too is going to be really important for you during this time, Ross. Not blaming yourself for things that happened in the past, and moving forward into this eclipse season almost with like a clean slate for yourself. I hope that these messages helped you. And I'm excited to do more lives. If I don't get any more questions on here, I'm going to be ending this live. And I'll be doing another one from my laptop because I feel like it runs way smoother this coming week. I feel like over the next month, I'll be doing lives at least once a week. You know, entering into eclipse season, I feel like people are going to need that extra support. So we shall see. If anyone, I see I have 2 people in here. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to write them down in the below section, comment section. If not, I might actually just do a little collective reading to close this out. I'm really liking this new deck, the Light Seers deck. 2 of Cups on the bottom. Love is in the air. Any other questions? It's looking as though it's a quiet evening. Ooh, what was this? It's a flipper. Let's see what it is. Page of Swords. Well, I guess we're going to get into a collective message here. What is it that the collective needs to know? Any messages for the collective at this time for eclipse season? As we enter into eclipse season, what is it that they need to know? What is it that they need to see at this time? I will also have the playback of this video on my channel, so you can always go back to this. What else do we have for the collective at this time? Any other messages for the collective during eclipse season? For all those that see this video, what is it that they need to know? What is it that they need to see during this eclipse season? Any other messages here? Any other messages? Okay. So it's looking like the theme for the collective for eclipse season, which we know is an expansive time, right? It's not just one day. We do have the dates for October. So October 14th is the eclipse in Libra. And then October 28th is the eclipse in Taurus. So I do. Yes, I do. It's interesting how these comments work. Again, I'm still playing with reading your comments. So let's see here. Just know that those 2 dates for October are going to be very potent. But again, this is an expansive time over like the next year. Okay. Page of Swords, 2 of Wands, Temperance in reverse, and 6 of Pentacles. I'm just hearing balance, you know, and that's that Libra energy. This is all about Libra energy, is balance, right? Harmony. We talked about that in the beginning of the live, the differences between Aries and Libra energy. and finding some sort of compromise is what I heard between both energies, because they are very dualistic and they're very different in nature, but both bring something to the table. And it's looking like there is an imbalance here, and there's an imbalance when it comes to relating to others. And again, speaking our truth, reciprocity, right? Six of Pentacles is equal give and take, right? Learning how to receive. That's something that was a big lesson during Venus retrograde, was the act of receiving, and learning what our yeses are and our nos are, right? I talked about the art of rejection, and although it can sting, that's what Venus stands for in our chart. It's learning about how we love, who we love, our love language, right? And to not deny who we are, right, at our core. But, you know, here it's like a compromise, relating, and also patience with the temperance card. This is Sagittarius energy. This takes time. You know, I do feel that we live in a day and age where we have become so damn ADD, ADHD, you know, we want things right at our fingertips, and most things are, right? Think about, you know, food, dating apps, like you can get anything online. Like, we are living in such an era where things come so quickly to us. And yes, that could be awesome, you know, but also there's the downfall of that, where people just become so impatient and they think that, you know, things just come to them so easily. But no, this is signifying good things take time, right? And that the patience and the hard work to get to know oneself does pay off when it comes to relating and relationship. And again, finding the balance between giving and taking is what I'm seeing with those cards. Page of Swords is also like the youngest, you know, the youngest character in this spread here. So it is about doing your research, and it's a lot around self-work and investigating, right? I see the Page of Swords as, I see them as a very independent free thinker, but as you can see in this card, they're reading, right? They're balancing many things, and they're able to do many things at once. This Page of Swords here is signifying a need to kind of step outside the box, right? Again, outdated beliefs keep coming up, and that is a lot around eclipse season energy, is breaking patterns, outdated ways of thinking. The Page of Swords is inviting you to think critically, but to investigate a bit deeper, you know, question the whys, the why nots. Think outside the box. This is also reminding me of that Aries North Node, you know, free thinker, the anarchist. We have the Two of Wands here. Heavy contemplation energy. You can see this person is contemplating on making a decision. All twos represent decision, right? The Wands is definitely the most action-oriented of the elements. And also this does signify like travel. And I see this with the Page of Swords as expanding one's mind, like thinking about different cultures, different ways of being, different belief systems, stepping outside the norm a bit, adventure. The Two of Wands also signifies Aries energy. But it looks like it's reflecting on this retrograde energy, because again, we are in the thick of 6 retrograde planets, so that's not going to lighten up until December, January. So just keep that in mind when you are in that contemplative phase, and just give yourself some grace, have some patience. Again, Temperance card. These things are not going to play out overnight. You know, there might be some critical change that helps you grow and develop, and to, again, learn something new, right? That might happen pretty swiftly. But this kind of balance that we're calling in, especially with this Aries Libra energy, it's not going to happen overnight. It takes time and effort and patience. And again, doing your due diligence is what I heard. All right, I'm going to pull an oracle to wrap up this collective reading here. Thank you for joining me this evening. And again, you can find this reading on my channel. I will save it. If you want to catch the first half where I talked a little bit about what eclipses are. Let's see here for the collective to wrap up this live reading. Let's pull an oracle message for you. Ooh. Very true to eclipse season. Death. Scorpionic energy. I know, Ross, you're a Scorpio. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. How suitable for eclipse season. Things are being eclipsed in and out of our lives, or again, both. I talked about this, I forgot for what sign. I can't remember. I think it was several of the signs for September. We talked about this idea of death and how really all energy just transforms, right? Things never truly die, right? Energy just transforms into something else. At least that's how I view it. And it might seem as though something has left us, but it truly is always with us. And the way I look at it around like outdated beliefs, the way we think, right, as we're evolving, because that's what eclipses are all about, is moving out of our karma and into our dharma. It's allowing those outdated ways of thinking and being to die, you know, transforming them. And again, they always stay with us. Those memories, the things that we've endured, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, those things don't necessarily ever go away, but we can learn again how to forgive and how to find closure, and to allow this radical life-altering change to come in, because the change is there. It's just we have the free will to accept it or not, or again, to repeat those karmic cycles. I wish you all the best. Thank you for tuning in on my first YouTube live. It's a little bit of trial and error as I work through the kinks here. I wish you all the best and stay tuned for more. Bye for now.